Welcome back to the U.S. Military Summary Channel. Today we are bringing you an exciting face-off between two legendary fighter jets of the world, Russia's Su-35 and the American F-15 Eagle. Join us as we discover who will emerge victorious in this comparison of two aviation technology masterpieces. As I've been asked to compare the esteemed American F-15 Eagle fighter with Russia's new contender for the title of Best Fourth-Generation Fighter, the Su-35S Flanker E. The former, introduced in the 1970s, has shaped our understanding of what a fourth-generation fighter can do. Continuously updated to keep pace with modern times, hundreds of F-15 Eagles are set to remain in service for decades to come. On the other hand, the Su-35S is an upgraded version of the Su-27 flanker, the Soviet-era counterpart to the F-15. This new model boasts modernized avionics, munitions, advanced vector thrust engines, and a fresh coat of radar-absorbent paint. I've previously written in detail about the Su-35S, and Dave Majumdar from the National Interest has provided an excellent analysis of how these two aircraft would perform in an aerial battle. He concluded that despite their differences, the two fighters are more or less evenly matched. As such, supporting assets and pilot skill would likely determine the outcome of an engagement between them, rather than any technological gap. In this analysis, I will break down the strengths and weaknesses of the two aircraft and explore how these factors influence their ability to execute various missions. Sensors and stealth. The Su-35S is equipped with the powerful Urbis-E passive electronically scanned array radar, capable of detecting targets up to 400 kilometers away, and effective against ground targets. However, the F-15's APG-63V3 active electronically scanned array radar outperforms it in terms of resistance to jamming, resolution, and difficulty to track. While the Su-35 features an infrared search and track system, IRST, that can determine the general position of aircraft within a 50-kilometer radius, potentially useful for detecting stealth aircraft at shorter ranges, the F-15 lacks an IRST. Nonetheless, the F-15 is set to receive the Talon-Haight add-on pod, which not only provides an IRST, but also enables data fusion with other air and surface sensors, even allowing it to connect with F-22 Raptor stealth fighters via a non-standard data link. Using this system, Raptors could fly ahead to identify hostile targets and relay targeting data to missile-firing F-15s at a safer distance behind. The F-15 was not designed with stealth in mind and has an average radar cross-section of 5 square meters. In contrast, the Su-35 is designed for stealth, reportedly achieving a radar cross-section between 1 and 3 square meters. As a result, the Su-35 will be detected by radars at a slower rate. However, even a radar cross-section of 1 square meter can still be detected at relatively long ranges by modern radars, and does not guarantee protection from long-range missile targeting. Beyond visual range combat. The latest air-to-air missiles can target enemies over 100 kilometers away. Although the United States Air Force believes that beyond visual range, BVR, combat will dominate air warfare in the 21st century with missiles fired over vast distances, the Russian aviation community is more skeptical. They argue that electronic countermeasures and evasive maneuvers will significantly reduce hit probability against maneuverable fighter aircraft, well below the projected 50 to 70% hit rate. Russian aircraft are designed for BVR warfare, but with the expectation that short-range combat will likely follow initial BVR exchanges. In terms of weapon load, the Su-35 has 12 or more hardpoints for carrying missiles, compared to just 8 on the F-15C. This gives the Su-35 an advantage, as it can fire multiple missiles simultaneously to increase hit probability. However, this edge may be short-lived, as Boeing is offering to upgrade F-15s with quad-rail racks that would double the F-15's loadout to 16. This would allow rear-deployed F-15s to serve as missile boats, firing at targets identified by a vanguard of F-22 stealth fighters. For now, though, the F-15 is outmatched in terms of missile capacity. Both the F-15 and Su-35 carry long-range radar-guided air-to-air missiles, the AIM-120D 160km range and the K-77M 200km range. These missiles are in the same class, although the comparative effectiveness of their seekers remains unconfirmed. They would likely be fired at less than their maximum range when used against fighter-type aircraft to increase the chances of a kill. The Su-35 can also fire the super long-range 300 to 400km R-37 missile, designed to take out bulky tanker and AWACS support aircraft. Another advantage of the Su-35 is its L-175M Kibini radar jamming system. While American AESA radars are thought to be resistant to jamming, the radars in AIM-120 missiles are not believed to be as robust. Air-to-air missiles may have a high failure rate against aircraft protected by the Kibini system. In contrast, the Eagle's Tactical Electronic Warfare Set countermeasure system dates back to the 1970s. A new system is being proposed as part of the Eagle 2040 upgrade package. Within visual range combat, the Eagle is certainly no pushover when it comes to maneuverability. In fact, it was one of the first designs to demonstrate that a heavy fighter could still execute tight, energy-efficient turns and accelerate while climbing, thanks to low wing loading and a high thrust-to-weight ratio. However, the Su-35 is truly in a league of its own. It employs vector thrust turbofans, which allows its engine nozzles to move independently and enable tight turns, yaws, and high angles of attack, when the plane's nose points in a different direction than its movement, that ordinary aircraft cannot match. The Su-35 will consistently outmaneuver an F-15 in a low-speed dogfight. When it comes to weaponry, the F-15 and Su-35 are more evenly matched with their heat-seeking AIM-9X and R-73 missiles. Both missile types can be fired off-bore sight at targets outside the frontal cone of the aircraft using helmet-mounted sights. Such missiles are believed to have kill probabilities of 70 to 80%. The lethal effectiveness of these short-range air-to-air missiles, combined with the fact that aircraft no longer need to point directly at their adversaries to launch missiles, may actually reduce the benefits of superior maneuverability in future close-range encounters. Ground attack. The Su-35S can carry over 17,000 pounds of munitions on its hardpoints, with up to 14 usable for air-to-ground attacks. The F-15C, on the other hand, cannot carry any ground munitions since it is strictly an air superiority fighter. However, it's worth noting that refitting for ground combat would not be an insurmountable task. Israel already modified its Eagles in the 70s for this purpose and used them to destroy the Iraqi nuclear reactor at Osirak. The F-15E Strike Eagle can carry 23,000 pounds of ordnance, when it can fly just as fast as the F-15C and carry the same air-to-air weapons. It is somewhat less maneuverable and agile and within visual range combat due to its heavier weight. In other practical aspects, the Russian military relies on precision-guided munitions than the United States and employs a smaller range of types. Nevertheless, the Su-35 is well equipped to use them with the ground attack mode of its Irbis-E radar. Maintainability. In general, the United States has tended to produce expensive aircraft with long service lives, while the Soviet Union and later Russia have typically created more affordable aircraft with shorter service lives and higher maintenance requirements. Some Russian fighters, such as the earlier Su-30 Flanker, have also experienced significant reliability issues. The Su-35 seems to somewhat narrow this gap as it is designed to last 6,000 flight hours. The F-15C and E are rated to last 8,000 and 16,000 hours respectively, and the former is likely to undergo a life extension program. However, Su-35s coming off production lines will be at the beginning of their service lives, while most F-15 airframes were built in the 1970s and 1980s. As for the next generation F-15, Boeing has marketed an advanced, stealthy version of the F-15, the Silent Eagle, for years, and it may finally have found a customer in Israel. Recently, Boeing also began promoting an upgrade package for the F-15C, the Eagle 2040C, designed to keep the air superiority version viable up to 2040. Would Silent Eagles and Eagle 2040s address the downsides of contemporary F-15s? Firstly, the Su-35's advantage in maneuverability would remain unchallenged. The Silent Eagle may have a radar cross-section as low as 1/10 of 1 meter squared from the front, 10 times smaller than the Su-35. However, the rear and sides would still be non-stealthy, although they would maintain a decent stealth advantage in head-on encounters. The Eagle 2040C package would also include IRST and F-22 data link capability via the Talon Hate Pod, a new electronic countermeasure system, and potentially double missile capacity. In conclusion, ultimately, future air combat capabilities may be increasingly determined by the effectiveness of missiles and electronic countermeasures, rather than the aircraft carrying them, particularly concerning non-stealth airframes. Nonetheless, the Su-35 claims the title of Best Dogfighter and remains a very capable and versatile missile platform against both air and ground targets, although its lack of state-of-the-art AESA radar holds it back. Current models of the F-15 continue to be capable air superiority fighters with advanced radar systems, while the F-15E can still carry greater weapons loads for ground attack missions. Upgraded F-15s would boast extraordinary air-to-air loads and unparalleled data fusion with supporting ships, satellites, and aircraft. The Silent Eagle might also introduce an intriguing, albeit limited, frontal stealth capability to the table. Less than 100 Su-35s are planned to serve in Russia, China, Malaysia, and Algeria, although additional orders may follow. A force of over 200 F-15Es and a smaller number of F-15Cs and Ds is expected to serve for decades in the United States, and well over 400 F-15s of various types currently serve in the air forces of Saudi Arabia, Israel, South Korea, Singapore, and Japan. In conclusion, thank you for taking the time to watch our comparison of the Su-35 and F-15 Eagle in this video. We hope you've gained some interesting and valuable insights into these two fighter jets. Don't forget to subscribe to US Military Summary so you don't miss out on our latest videos about military and aviation technology. We'll be back soon with more exciting content. Goodbye for now, and see you again soon.